First time they've got forward really. Friend plays it in and it's clipped over the top of the bar by Stuart Downing. Difficult one to keep down that really. Friend, the Middlesbrough skipper, plenty of space on that left-hand side and a good spot to pick him out on that left flank. And decided to play it in first time, and Downing gets across the front of his man there and, well, just tries to hook it back across into the far corner, but it just sat up for him as he hit it, and he hits it over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, no, not in a million years. You know, his goals once a flood, isn't it? For me, Downing doesn't score, he doesn't contribute either, never picks a man out with the ball. And I don't think you can, I keep saying this, but I don't think you can play percentage ball in this league. You know, you've got to find a body, and for me, he's lightweight. Also, the skipper, George Friend, I watched him start the season, and he didn't lay a glove on Adnan Januzaj when Borough were beaten in the derby game, if you like. Yeah. Do you know what? Also, the manager, I'm just thinking maybe he's a little bit quiet, monotone. When I listen to him, he doesn't inspire. I think it's going to be a long, hard season for Borough. I think they knew that, and I think the fans knew that as well. I'm probably not telling anybody anything that they don't already know. There's nothing that really inspires me, but they've got good players. I like Gaston. He hasn't played well this season, but he's got a touch of quality. If Negredo gets going, we saw what a good player he was at City, then you never know. But I do think that they've certainly down that left as well for them. They're a little bit weak.
Yeah, Middlesbrough 17th in the table at the start of play. They probably take 17th at the end of the campaign, having got themselves back into the Premier League. People may be thinking they had the best chance of the three promoted teams because of the summer recruitment, but that doesn't always follow.
Well, but I think Burnley have got no chance of staying up.
And Hull yesterday looked, 6-1. They're playing catch up right from the word go after what happened in the summer with them.
Yeah, it's right. Although they got off to a good start, didn't they? It counts for a little bit, but they look pedestrian. So there are one or two teams who aren't fantastic, but even teams like the Baggies who tend to get dragged into it have looked a little bit stronger. And yeah, you just think Middlesbrough, it's going to be a great season if they manage to avoid the drop. Although, like we said, that the Black Cats don't look up to much either, and they're a team who flirted that often that you think at some point they will just go down.
Yeah, Middlesbrough have been pleased to see Hull and Sunderland lose yesterday, and Burnley playing later on this service away at Southampton. So if they can pick up their first home win of the season, it was a bit of a fortress to Riverside in the Championship, but of course this is a different ball game in the Premier League. They have it at the back here with Callum Chambers, the man on loan from Arsenal. That was a loose pass. I thought it might have gone out of play, but no, it's stayed in. And the linesman kept his flag down there. Here in Middlesbrough on the far side, looking to play it into the area towards Negredo, who was in there. Watford just get a little bit of luck with a couple of ricochets and now clear it up to Troy Deeney, who scored on his last 4 appearances against Middlesbrough, so he likes playing against them.
I'll tell you what I've noticed already is that for me, Watford are off the ball when Middlesbrough have it and not working hard enough. Middlesbrough could actually dominate this game. I'm beginning to think this might be a good game for them. A shot comes in, but from the edge of the area, it's wide of the goal. Gaston then trying, he's kind of dragged his left foot over that shot and dragged it wide. Watford has stood off. It's like the team who haven't quite got off the coach. But it might just be that their manager said, look, we'll all drift back to the halfway line and wait. But for me, they look really passive. I haven't seen Middlesbrough at home dominate any competition so far this season, but I think they have a chance of doing that today.
Yeah, I think the Middlesbrough fans would have looked at this game, particularly Watford's performance away at Burnley in their last away game when they were pretty poor really on that Monday night. Slipped to a comfortable 2-0 defeat really in that game as the long ball from Watford just goes straight through to Victor Valdes, the summer recruiting goal for Middlesbrough. Got to feel a little bit for Konstantopoulos, the keeper that they've had stalwart in there for the last couple of seasons in the Championship. Not done a lot wrong in Middlesbrough's goal, and they've signed Valdes and Guzan in the summer.
Yeah, you know your numbers up, don't you, when they sign their 2 decent keepers, although question mark squiggle Guzan. He clearly there to play second fiddle to Valdes. Obviously, from the start of the season, another big change where Danny Ayala would have thought, yeah, well, I'm starting centre-back. Now he's not. Callum Chambers, brought in. I don't really rate him quite, frankly. I think he lacks a lot of pace and know-how. I want my centre-backs about 28 to be a little bit quicker. and it's a real young centre-back pairing. Let's hope that Ben Gibson can take Callum Chambers by the hand. It should probably be the other way around, shouldn't it, given that one's played for England and one has not. But I think Ben Gibson has got to order Callum Chambers around to make that a meaningful partnership.
It's Watford on the ball here. Kabou's had a good start to the season, 4 goals already, gets a free kick off Roger Easton. Let's just have a quick recap of what we've seen so far. Early going then, Middlesbrough 0, Watford 0. Middlesbrough looking for their first home win of the season, but it was Watford who had the first chance in the very first minute. A slack back header from Borough. Troy Deeney, who scored 4 in his last 4 meetings against Middlesbrough, was almost in, but good challenge coming in from Ben Gibson to concede a corner. At the other end, George Friend's cross was met by Stuart Downing, a difficult ball to control as he tried to hook it round into the far corner, and he hit it over the crossbar. And Gaston Ramirez and Alvaro Negredo linking up before Ramirez had a shot just wide. One slight correction as well. It was said before the game that Odion Igalo had remained at home following the death of his father. He has suffered a family bereavement, but a correction has been made. He is on the bench for Watford this afternoon, but it is Isaac Success who started alongside Troy Deeney up top. So in the early going, it is Middlesbrough 0, Watford 0.
Sure is. We haven't seen much of Roberto Pereira just yet. Signed at great expense from Juve. Juve, the kind of club who are going to let go of a good player. Don't know. Saw Simon Zaza play pretty well for West Ham. He's a Juve loanee in the success for the Hammers. And but here now a chance for Watford down left-hand side. An opportunity. The cutback not good enough there, and it was almost straight to Forshaw. Holebas needs to do better than that with his theory. Like I said, percentage ball, not the way forward. And thinking about back threes, where I'd maintain that there's virtually no team that's had a successful back three in the Premier League. West Ham played with one, and I thought got it just about right yesterday. Watford here, I was thinking back to that awful Derby team who went down with a back three and shipped about 3 or 4 every game. We'll see how they get on. It does mean that you have extra bodies in midfield, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's something Antonio Conte introduced at Chelsea yesterday as well, wasn't it? A back three. David Luiz, did he play as a back? As the middle of the 3 centre halves yesterday. I know he'd like that.
He needs more help, doesn't he?
Yeah.
David Luiz, but yeah, Juve done that for donkeys, haven't they? But that's a different thing altogether, I think.
Yeah, Watford going with the back three today. Britos coming back into the team, and he gets the ball here. He's forward for this throw-in. He drives it, but it hits the Middlesbrough man. Runs out of play for a throw to Watford. Just over 10 minutes gone. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Middlesbrough 0, Watford 0. Just those couple of half chances for Borough so far, and Deeney almost in the very first minute for Watford. And Watford take the throw down the line here to Success. First time we've really seen him on the ball, but can't get the cross into the box. And then the throw-in given to Watford, level with the Middlesbrough penalty area. Middlesbrough have had their chances to have had more points on the board so far this season. They've lost 7 points from leading positions. Nobody has squandered more when they've been ahead so far. So they tend to get off to a decent start in games, but can't hold on. And there's a header there from, I think it's Barami. It's gone through. It is the former West Ham man. It's through to Valdes in the Middlesbrough goal. So it's just settling down this one. Valdes hits it right-footed over the halfway line. Should be met here by Prodl. He does, and it's Gibson who tidies up for Middlesbrough. Here's George Friend back to Ben Gibson, the nephew of the chairman, Steve Gibson. Plays it just a bit of an aimless ball, though, down the left-hand channel. That's easy for Watford. They've got to do better than that, Middlesbrough, if they're going to create something against this Watford 3-man defence.
Yeah, it's right. Again, I mean, early signs for me is just a little bit of a lack of quality in terms of passing. For Borough, they're desperate to get Gaston on the ball. A lot should go through him if they want to be successful. Stuani keeps shape that side. He's like a second strike, like I said, top scorer for them. He scored that great goal against Sunderland, didn't he? Where Nsue took a man away, and it just allowed him to thump one from range. But just that lack of finesse. They look like two teams having a little bit of a struggle. I say that, but obviously Watford have had their little successes already this season. And they were good last term as well. There's been enough sort of swapping and changing around, hasn't it? That I'm not sure they'd be absolutely riding high on confidence, but so far it's a fairly even start, I would have said.
Yeah, and Isaac's successful. Just looking at the lineup for Watford, looks like he's moved down to he's playing on the left-hand side almost. They're playing Deeney as the lone striker today, Watford, with this three-man defence. They have a free kick, and it's going to be Watford, who are about 40 yards from goal. About 13 minutes gone, so first chance to get a set piece into the Middlesbrough penalty area. And, well, it was a real waste that from Watford. They touched it to the left. Holebas was going to play it in, and Gaston Ramirez charges it down. Good work from him, but poor there from Watford when you got the chance to get it into the penalty area. Yeah,
there was no shaving foam down there, was there? I doubt that he was the 10 back, but referee Roger East had not made the mark, and so, by rights, then he couldn't really have a go at Gaston, but I thought he probably crowded the free kick taker. It sounds American, that didn't, but you know what I mean? But then that's got Borough back on the ball, and like I said, they're able to see a little bit of the ball in this half so far. They've done all right. That's a nice turn by Gaston. Beats two, brought down, and it's a good opportunity here for the Borough free kick, the edge of the area.
Yeah, Ramirez brought down. Kabou's had a good start to the season. Praised last year for his work rate in midfield. In fact, it was Kaboul who brought him down second time of asking. Kaboul with the first foul. Gaston Ramirez just hobbling away a little bit, but seems to be all right. Now a chance for Stuart Downing to deliver a ball into the area for Middlesbrough. And we've got Gibson and Chambers forward from the back here. George Friend is hovering around the edge of the box as well. And, Roger East has got the one-man wall back behind the spray. Amrabat is joined by a colleague now, so he's got two in the wall. What can Middlesbrough do from this set piece? They'll be hoping a little bit better than Watford did a few minutes ago. And referee's happy, blows the whistle. In comes the free kick. Training ground routine. They're taking a touch on the edge of the box. They almost fed it through to Negredo there in the area. That would have been nicely worked from Middlesbrough, but now maybe the counter-attack is on. Too heavy with the pass from Success, and Amrabat couldn't get on the end of that, and it's through to Valdes. Almost paid off there.
Yeah, it was an interesting routine, wasn't it? Ball just scooped to the left from down into Forshaw. He looked up. Stuani taking the position on the inside of the wall, and he'd peeled off. He was the man who was going to get it turned, thump it in the back of the net, and they weren't a million miles away from that, so good to see that. At least they're thinking about it. It's a difficult division. If you can keep it tight, then what are you going to do? How are you going to try and get that goal? You've got to show a little bit of quality, and I thought that was there. I enjoyed that. Just a shame for Borough it didn't work out.
Middlesbrough have it on the far side of the field, just inside the Watford half, and just working across the back line. Here's Gibson for Borough. Just slid into Downing. That's a loose one. Good job there wasn't a Watford player closing down Callum Chambers. A little bit edgy from Middlesbrough at the start of this game. Had the better of the half chances so far, but one or two moments that might worry the fans into the Riverside. Not quite capacity for this home game in Watford, but good to see bigger crowds at the Riverside again after a few years outside the top flight. Here they are down the right-hand side. They're going to get the first corner of the match. Good run from Barragan down that right-hand flank. Just flicks off a Watford boot, and it's behind for a corner to the home side.
Well, they say that the Riverside is a bit of a shed, really, isn't it? I know it's relatively modern, but just for big stands. And but you've got to love the owner for Middlesbrough. I'm sure the fans do. He's committed to them. He spent an awful lot of money. He seems like a decent guy. And, he'd be glad of the success that they've got relatively this season being in this top flight.
Corner comes in. It's just beyond everybody. George Friend seemed to hesitate there as it came in from Gaston.
He's just over here, hasn't he? I mean, maybe caught on a bit of the breeze there. You want a better delivery than that, quite frankly. Nobody had quite at the far post enough to get hold of that. Gaston and Stuani, will have made long trips, won't they, playing for their teams internationally. It's a long haul, isn't it? But I think Gaston has started quite well, actually.
Yeah, he's looked up pretty well so far with Alvaro Negredo. And Middlesbrough bench deep in conversation about what's going on so far. It brings Aita Karanka to his feet. Middlesbrough have possession inside their own half, with George Friend plays it down the line towards Negredo, who'd come short for him or come deep to collect that ball. The former Valencia and Sevilla man wins the throw for Borough. Little drop of the shoulder there from Adam Forshaw. Good play from him. Moves towards the Watford half. That's a loose pass, though. Both teams giving the ball away at the minute. Now it's played down this right-hand channel for Watford. Ball into the area. Takes a deflection easy for Valdes. That was Pereira who was onto it down that right-hand flank. And I'm expecting a little bit more from the record signing, you feel, than that, really, from Watford?
Yeah, exactly right. But you know what? It's a difficult division. The amount of players who have come from sort of foreign fields and slotted straight in and look great. Probably you look at one hand and can count them off, because it's a difficult division. Generally speaking, you get the best second season, won't you, out of somebody like Pereira? But there's been obviously one or two who've been hit the ground running. Let's give him a bit of a chance, Roberto Pereira. But so far, like you said, he just about one touch. He's done nothing with it. His success has been very quiet as well.
Yeah, they're trying to find him on that left-hand side. Then Borough playing infield to Stuart Downing. Now to Forshaw. Now again, space left-hand side for Friend to run into. He's got 4 red shirts ahead of him here, and it goes towards Downing. That's again a loose ball, and it's a bit of a nervy start from Borough. I really think they'd be right at Watford in these early stages. It's not really happened so far. Stuart Downing with a loose pass. It was allowed Pereira to get in with the challenge. Now it's back with Yunus Kaboul, former Sunderland man, but he's giving it away to Negredo. Now it's with Gaston Ramirez once more. He drives into the box. That's better positive play from Borough, and he does well to keep possession there. He's forced up near the byline, and the Middlesbrough fans appreciating the contribution from Gaston there. I think it's only gone for a throw-in, though, for Middlesbrough, right down by the corner flag. Kaboul was a bit slow to react, but the first time I said that about him in the Premier League.
Well, I'll tell you what, do you know what? I'm surprised he didn't point his finger and shout and blame somebody else. Usually when you make a mistake, that seems to be what you do nowadays. But just shaking his head there, he knows he made a big mistake. But the cross comes in, Gomes comes out, and then he throws the ball to the opposition. It's super scrappy.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Isaac's success has gone down there, and we're going to have a free kick to Watford. Still Middlesbrough 0, Watford 0, and not a lot I can say really since last time you were with me. We haven't had any clear-cut chances of note. I was talking before about that shot from Ramirez that went wide of the target, but since then, really scrappy affair so far. Middlesbrough look a little bit nervy in front of their own fans, desperate for this first win perhaps. Antonio Barragan has picked up a yellow card for a challenge on Isaac's success, who's not getting in the game for Watford either. Both teams guilty of giving the ball away. At least Gaston Ramirez looks like the one player who can open up this Watford defence. And at the other end, Troy Deeney's getting very little service up front for Walter Mazzari's side. Plenty for the managers to ponder. The fans don't seem to be into the match yet as well. It's been a really slow start to proceedings. And it's still Middlesbrough 0, Watford 0.
Sure is. I'm enjoying watching the grass grow, and I'm not watching the football. And it's a beautiful pitch at the Riverside, and it's surprising what catches your eye when you're bored. But that's it. I've not really enjoyed it. I did see something. Somebody said laughably today, Super Sunday. Are you kidding? The games didn't seem to be the highest calibre. But you know what? There are points to be had. It doesn't really matter, does it? Watched the game played in a deluge yesterday, the 5:30 kickoff. It was all about blood and thunder. So far, we've not even had that. I mean, this game has not just kicked into sort of top gear just yet.
Stuani trying to have a run at the Watford defence, plays it aimlessly into the box, so Kaboul is there. We are past the midway point of the first half, and it's over to you, John. Thank you.
Really? Anyway, here you come, Borough, down the right-hand side, an opportunity, Barragan, a deep ball to the far post, that's not bad. Awful defended by Amrabat, an opportunity to turn here for Negredo, goes down in the box, Rodriguez says no. The arms flung across his chest, that's just Rodriguez, never mind Negredo. Referee making sure that nobody was in any uncertainty, but it didn't look like a penalty, did it?
No, I thought he slipped actually. It looked like he slipped on the turf. But maybe have another look at it. Surely we will in a minute. And as Middlesbrough just whack a ball straight out of play. But fans behind that goal, Adam, I suppose they would be. They want something to happen. But we're going to have another look at it here. Barragan plays it in. Negredo doesn't control it. Bounces off him.
I mean, Amrabat there, awful defending. You don't want Nodin Amrabat there. You know, it's the problem playing him as a wing back. He's not that. You know, he could play striker, Nordin Amrabat. He could play right wing. He can play second striker. I don't like him near his own goal, and there'd be a reason for it. We just saw it. Ball hit him on the leg, back into play, and then he just allowed Negredo half a chance. But here come Middlesbrough. Maybe an opportunity for them. Not enough play for them in the middle of the park, but here his friend finds Downing. Look for a colleague, he doesn't, and that one's blocked away at source. So that was Pereira working hard to close Downing down, but yeah, they need a little bit more quality on delivery, I would have said. Anyway, the ball into the middle of the park. Haven't seen much of Martin de Roon. Forshaw has been the dominant midfielder for Borough so far this afternoon. But here is de Roon. Ball out to the right-hand side, a chance for Barragan. Can he deliver a decent ball in? Stands one up to the far post, an opportunity here. Kaboul does well enough. Again, Amrabat doesn't defend properly. A shot at the near post from Downing. Again, Downing drags it wide.
Yeah, another penalty claim in there from Middlesbrough. This time handball as it came into the area. Again, the ball played in from that right-hand side. Negredo attacking it. Kaboul did well actually against him. Where's that handball from Amrabat there? I don't think so. He wasn't too... well, he was really close to Downing. Just wondering whether it hit him in the... Well, it just hit him on the arm, but he's not. He's hardly about half a yard away from Downing there.
Well, you know, stranger things have happened. What I don't like about it is the way that Amrabat flicks his hand at the ball. You know, he's not necessarily stopping the ball hitting his face. His arms are away from his body. If the referee gives a penalty there, I think fair enough. I'm a big fan of Amrabat, actually, but he's having a shocker. For me, he just isn't a defender, and so he's in the wrong slot. Maybe his manager, Matsari, will work that out in time, but asked to do a job he will, and he's a hard worker. But for me, that it could easily have been a penalty. Yeah. We just look at Deeney rising with his elbow right into the chops of Callum Chambers. Welcome to the game. He's never going to get that ball either, Deeney, and so could have been a yellow card, that, but the referee just decides for a free kick.
Yeah, certainly, as John was saying, you've seen the refs give those penalties for handball like that, but the fact that his arm was away from him, but then there's the argument he's only half a yard away, and then sometimes you think, well, you can see why he's not given that, but I agree with you, yeah, he could have easily pointed to the spot there. The one on Negredo looked like, Kaboul was taking a little bit of a gamble trying to hold him off, but I don't think there was much in that one, but at least it might have got the Riverside crowd going a little bit. Yeah,
for me, Callum Chambers there, just an elbow right through the back of his success, and trying to get back his own revenge for the foul from Deeney. But you know what? Two wrongs don't make a right. It's a free kick for the Hornets at the edge of the area. Just white shirts, white shorts today, black socks, a weird kit for Watford. But anyway, they've got a real opportunity here. They've got their own big guys to hit. Three centre-backs and big striker Troy Deeney. In comes the delivery. Oh, and that was very nearly headed in his own goal by Negredo. But you know what? His colleagues show you what they think about that header. It was vital.
Yeah, I thought that was heading right into just completely. He's trying to head it away, wasn't he? And just completely misdirects it. And that was no chance for Valdes. If that was just a bit lower, that would have been in the back of his own goal. Looking to concede the corner.
Sure was, but Valdes wasn't coming for that ball, was he? And he dealt with it. Got a pat on the back from his colleagues. Anyway, it is the corner kick for the Hornets. In comes the delivery into a sea of bodies. It drops in the box, but it will be cleared away. Downing runs away with it. and immediately gives it away. And so the Hornets back on the attack, and well, speculative volley there from Dini. Sometimes they go in. It would have been Roy the Rovers, wouldn't it? Absolutely flush on the volley, but he was facing the wrong way.
Yeah, he's had a good start to the season, Dini, when Nigalo's not been in good form. I'd just been fractionally offside there. Did the flag go up? It did, actually, as he tried the volley. And yeah, he's been carrying Watford a little bit with the fact that Gallo hasn't started the season as well as he did last season. So most of the good things that Watford have done this season have come through him.
Well, do you know what? The problem for them is if Igalo stops scoring, is that Dini and Igalo look for each other, play well together, link up well. So a lot of ball that Dini gets is Igalo playing Dini, and you know that's the problem if one of them doesn't work. So, and again, Matsari, it was weird, really. What the manager should be saying to Troy Dini is, look, you keep on playing like you are, and England will come calling. Instead, it was a sort of mixed, well, you know, he plays well enough, blah, blah. He didn't quite say the right thing, I thought, Matsari. Anyway, Middlesbrough back on the ball. I would suggest that the game's been a 50-50 game. Yeah. Both teams in it. I think that many pundits would have pointed to a draw just because they're too lazy or couldn't work out what was going to happen in this game. I think weirdly enough, you know, there'd be a bit of value going for perhaps a Watford away win if that was the biggest odds. But whatever the biggest odds is out the three, I think I'd be backing it. Not with any certainty, and certainly not with much money. But if I wanted an interest, I'd be looking to try and get some value. This game could go either of the three ways: a draw, Watford win, Borough win. Shot from range there from Gaston. That's not too far away. In fact, it was from Ben Gibson, was it?
Yeah, it was a good strike, wasn't it, from the centre half? Caught it pretty well, and it wasn't too far away. It had really Gomes slightly worried. It's gone just wide of the right-hand post. Let's just have a recap what we've seen so far. Well, finally, a few talking points in this game at the Riverside, and Middlesbrough have had a couple of penalty shouts since you were last with me. The first one played into the area. Younes Kaboul did have his arms around Alvaro Negredo, but the Spaniard went to ground. Roger East deciding that it wasn't sufficient contact for a penalty. But then another one a few moments later, ball played in from the right-hand side. Stuart Downing inside the area, tries a shot. It struck the hand of Nuri Amrabat. Again, Roger East waved away the Middlesbrough appeals. At the other end, we almost had a spectacular own goal from Alvaro Negredo, across from the left-hand side. And Negredo, he headed it over his own crossbar when it looked easier to clear it. And we're just having an incident where Barragan might be about to receive a second yellow card. Roger East is mulling over the situation. He's already been booked for a foul. The Watford players are surrounding the referee. Barragan's already been booked. Looks like it's just going to be a stern talking to from the referee. At the moment, it is still Middlesbrough 0, Watford 0.
Yeah, still talking to him, and you know what? It should be a second yellow card. He's hauled down his success there. That's how he got his first card. He couldn't afford to do that again. How on earth can Roger East let that go? I need to take another look. My instinct is there. It's a stonewall second yellow red card. You know, if a player gets round you, you do not haul him down. His success is round him. You know, he's running across the back of his legs. Maybe his success has gone uneasy, but he's dragging himself around him. For me, it's a professional foul. He's not allowed him to go around him. I like Barragan. I think he's a good player, but he's got so lucky there. And the more I looked at that, the more instinctively I felt it has got to be a yellow card. He's such a lucky boy. He's just got away with what got him a yellow card in the first place, hauling down his success, who sucked him in, was too strong for him, burst past him. Anyway, the Hornets now have got an opportunity. Ball into the box. It's not being cleared away at the far post. Oh, dearie me, they got dead lucky there. And it might well be it's a corner kick now. But Britos at the far post, very nearly getting on the end of it. But you've had a chance to see that again. I think that Watford dead unlucky. They're not playing against 10 men now. Yeah,
I think it's one of those, isn't it, where the referee, if Barragan's not already booked, he books him for that challenge. But then he sees, he's already on a yellow. I'll try and keep 11. But those are the rules of the game sometimes. You have to apply them. That is a second yellow.
Absolutely. Anyway, corner kick comes in, headed away by Negredo to the edge of the area. The white-shirted Watford players, they have it back, but there was another infringement, and so it will be a Borough free kick. Exactly. I think these are the rules. if you beat somebody and then you're running in on goal, they're behind you. If they bring you down at that point, either running across your back legs, pulling your shirt, chopping you down, for me that's a yellow card. Roger East got it right to start with, didn't he? Because he showed that you can't do that. He gave Barragan a yellow card, and I thought, bang right. You know, that came early, that first yellow card. Barragan then is under pressure, and what he had to do there was not fight with his success, was stand off him and maybe give him a 5-10 yard start and say, right, okay, I know what it is now, but he keeps getting in too close to him, he's done it again. His success is round him again. Barragan's having an absolute shocker here. Ball chipped out now from left to right, maybe a chance, but it looks like it's over here. His success bursting past him, but he's not finding the killer ball at the end of it, and Kaboul couldn't get on the end of that.
Yeah, well, if you're Watford manager Walter Mazzaro, you try and get success on the ball against Barragan here. We're going to have another look at it, are we? This is the first yellow, isn't it, from Barragan?
Exactly the same. Success gets past him, and he runs across his back legs. He knows he can't get there. So he's done exactly the same for the second incident. Exactly the same. That's
unbelievable, isn't it? How can the ref give the one yellow card for one and not the other?
It's like copycat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Copycat crime. Success is too strong. But he, I don't know. His success is that good. I might just let him go because his final ball doesn't look all that. And I remember watching him before. You can't let a player go in this division. Barragan's got to learn, though. He's such a good player, but he's not blessed with blinding pace. He can't get sucked into getting a physical challenge, because not only is success quicker, he's stronger.
Yeah, I think Middlesbrough really got away with one there. They might feel a bit aggrieved with that second penalty shout, but definitely they should be down to 10 men here, and Watford can feel very aggrieved at the minute.
Yeah, Roger East is no referee. I particularly think he's good enough. I mean, he was only last season he got hauled up from Championship, wasn't he? And not one for me. Anyway, ball just to the edge of the